Traditional wisdom has it that if you needed a car to ferry more than 5 people, you would get an MPV. However, that's not quite the case anymore. So with the proliferation of SUVs, we're now seeing more and more 3-row SUV choices to accommodate large families. Case in point, this car right here, our large SUV of the year, the Mazda CX-8. Like much of the rest of the Mazda range, this CX-8 is a stylish looking car. So what we have here is expressive sheet metal through which the brand's Kodo design language really shines through. And this is the same design philosophy that you'll see from the Mazda 2 all the way up to this CX-8. So this is a big car, but it doesn't overwhelm you with its visual footprint. What it does have though is great road presence to match the stately demeanour of this large and relatively luxurious SUV. This is a family-friendly 3-row SUV, so obviously we have flexible boot space, right? So here, with all 3 rows engaged, we have a pretty decent 209-litre boot. However, if you need more space, that's easy enough to just quickly flip down the 3rd row, and now we have a pretty sizable 775-litre boot. And of course, there is comfort for all. So I'm here in the 3rd row, and as you can see, there's plenty of space for 2 full-size adults here, and this is considering the 2nd row has been positioned with plenty of space for that passenger as well. With premium materials, high build quality, and undeniable comfort, this is a really impressive space to be in. And because insulation is very good, it is also a very quiet space, and that really lets you appreciate the 10-speaker Bose sound system. This here is the 6-seater super luxury trim, and let me run you through some standout details that make this our large SUV of the year. So we do get these captain seats here, and honestly these are really nice seats. We have very sort of kind of fancy quilted leather here. They are very nice to the touch, and these seats are also ventilated and heated, so if you need to cool down or warm up. And yeah, you know, if you recline using the electric controls, you can really get a very lounge-like feeling. And it's really nice. It's honestly very nice. You can also pull up this sunshade, and yeah, you know, it really feels quite classy. What else? We have this nice center console here, not too dissimilar from the one in front. We have 2 big cup holders, a nice big storage space here, 2 USB ports, as well as another small storage space over here. This is really a fantastic space to be in, and if I'm being very honest, it's one of those cars that I might actually want to be driven more than I want to drive the car. However, talking about driving, let's go give this car a spin. Under the bonnet, we have a 2.5-litre naturally aspirated engine that produces 192 brake horsepower and 258 Nm of torque. This is a car that is definitely comfort-oriented, and it does that very well. You know, the suspension is nice and pliant, the ride is generally very smooth and comfortable, and I also do like the fact that it's a very quiet car. So I'm doing 80 km/h on the highway, and I don't really hear very much. I'm really only hearing a little bit of the noise of the drizzle, you know, hitting the windscreen. Also, one other thing that I really do like about this particular CX-8 is the fact that the driver assistance systems are quite non-intrusive. So, you know, with some cars you have like blaring lights and signals say, oh, you know, be careful, be careful. And this one doesn't really do that to you, right? So we have fairly sort of subtle indications, whether it's on the dashboard or also on the heads-up display. And that's nice. That really, it doesn't interfere with the way you're driving. So for example, even the lane assist, right? So if I just briefly drift out into the lane, the car actually very gently steers you back in, which is nice, right? It doesn't jerk you back into the lane like some other cars do. And again, yes, that really adds to that sense of refinement and comfort and quality that I think has really come to define the Mazda brand. The Mazda CX-8 ticks all the necessary boxes as far as being a practical and sensible family hauler. It's big, it's spacious, and it's easy and comfortable to drive. The fact that it's also pleasant on the eyes and premium and luxurious on the inside really further adds to its appeal. And that's why this is our large SUV of the year.